Now here's what's gonna happen. In 60 seconds, you're gonna take these chains off me. We're gonna make a play for those nodes and get off this rock.
So you probably know that Riddick Furya is officially on the way, but you might not be up to speed on what's behind Vin Diesel's latest behind-the-scenes photo hinting at a Furyan desert scene. Plus, there's some buzz about Vin Diesel's $267 million franchise comeback, and why it's a bit worrying, especially after that 31% rating for the sci-fi flick. Let's break down everything we know about the upcoming movie. Riddick Furya is officially in the works, and fans of the franchise have been waiting for this sequel for a while now. The first three movies, Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick, and Riddick, have built up quite a cult following. In the series, Riddick is a dangerous criminal being transported to an off-world prison. When the transport crashes on a planet full of monsters, he uses his unique skills to stay alive until daylight. Vin Diesel's partnership with writer and director David Twohy has been a key factor in the franchise's success, and both are back for Riddick Furya. This new installment promises to dive into the origins of the iconic anti-hero. Even though it's been over a decade since the last film, there's a lot to get excited about as we await more details on the upcoming movie. Riddick Furya is getting fans hyped with a new teaser from Vin Diesel. He's shared a behind-the-scenes shot on Instagram showing him in full costume, behind the wheel of a dune buggy-type vehicle with a camera rig. The backdrop hints at a Furyan desert, setting the stage for some intense action in the fourth installment of the Chronicles of Riddick series. In this upcoming film, Diesel's character returns to his home planet to find fellow Furyans battling a new, dangerous enemy. After the mixed reception of Riddick, which had a modest box office performance, this new installment promises a fresh start for the franchise. Diesel and director David Twohy are back, aiming to reinvigorate the series. Historically, the Riddick franchise has performed better on home viewing platforms. The original Pitch Black became a cult classic, while the Chronicles of Riddick didn't quite hit the mark commercially despite its big budget. The third film, Riddick, had a smaller budget and was a modest hit. With mixed critical responses and tepid theatrical interest in the past, it's no surprise that it took a while to get this fourth film going. The fresh promise of Riddick facing a new enemy on his home turf might help bring in new fans and give the series a new lease on life. Given Diesel's recent struggles with franchise hits outside of Fast and Furious, it's unclear how much of a draw he will be for newcomers. Regardless, fans can look forward to some thrilling desert action in Riddick Furya. The storytelling in the Riddick franchise has definitely grown deeper since Pitch Black, and Riddick Furya is set to dive even further into the character's origins. In the Chronicles of Riddick, Furya was introduced as a brutal world where only the strongest survive. Now, in the fourth installment, Riddick returns to this harsh homeworld, a place he barely remembers, and discovers that the Furyans are fighting against a new threat, not just the necromongers as he expected. Vin Diesel recently also shared a storyboard slide on Instagram that teases an intriguing detail. It shows Riddick in a spacesuit with a surprised look and a caption stating, "Scene 10, the boy's eyes shine just like Riddick's." This hints that the film might explore Riddick's backstory more deeply by introducing other characters with similar traits, including his distinctive eye shine. This feature, which was crucial to his survival in the darkness of Pitch Black, could play a significant role in Riddick Furya, offering fans a deeper look into the origins of Riddick's unique abilities and his connection to his homeworld. Even though Riddick Furya is moving forward, the cast remains largely unknown, with only Vin Diesel confirmed so far. However, there are several familiar faces from the franchise who could make a return. Actors like Karl Urban, Katee Sackhoff, and Dave Bautista have all seen their careers soar since Riddick was released in 2013. Their star power, combined with Vin Diesel's, could create a much stronger casting lineup in the 2020s than in the early 2010s. If they join the cast, it could be a major boost for the franchise, potentially propelling it into the mainstream. The concern about Vin Diesel's return to the Riddick franchise with Riddick Furya stems from the recent flop of his sci-fi film Bloodshot. Despite Diesel's star power and involvement in blockbuster franchises like Fast and Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy, his track record with sci-fi movies has been inconsistent. Bloodshot, in which Diesel played a valiant comic superhero, was a significant disappointment. The film had a budget of $45 million, but only earned $37.3 million and scored a meager 31% on Rotten Tomatoes. This recent failure raises concerns about whether Diesel's next sci-fi venture, Riddick Furya, will fare any better. Even though Diesel is passionate about the Chronicles of Riddick and has consistently returned to the franchise despite its mixed success, the underwhelming performance of Bloodshot casts a shadow over the potential success of the new installment. With Riddick Furya finally in development after years of anticipation, fans are hopeful but cautious given the recent setbacks in Diesel's sci-fi career. Bloodshot's lackluster performance adds another layer of risk to Riddick Furya. It highlights that Vin Diesel isn't a guaranteed box office draw despite his star status. While Diesel has found success with franchises like Fast and Furious and Guardians of the Galaxy, his recent sci-fi project Bloodshot didn't fare well, failing to meet financial and critical expectations. This makes the upcoming Riddick Furya a potentially risky venture, especially since the franchise hasn't had a major hit since Riddick in 2013. The previous films in the Riddick series, Pitch Black, The Chronicles of Riddick, and Riddick, have each had mixed financial success. Pitch Black made a decent return on its modest budget, but the other two installments had more mixed results, with The Chronicles of Riddick struggling to break even and Riddick performing modestly. With a decade since the last release, the Riddick franchise faces an uphill battle, especially given the current box office landscape. However, there's still hope for Riddick Furya. The recent success of sci-fi epics like the Dune movies suggests that there's a strong appetite for grand sci-fi adventures. If Riddick Furya manages to keep its budget in check, it could tap into this renewed interest and potentially attract a new audience. Although it's a risky move, the film has the chance to revive interest in the franchise and find success if it can strike the right balance between new and returning fans. It will be interesting to see how Diesel's next Riddick film performs after his recent sci-fi setbacks. One thing that could be a game-changer for Riddick Furya is the introduction of new powers like the Furian Energy Wave. Riddick has shown off the Furian Energy Wave in previous games and director's cuts, where it's used alongside his Wrath of the Furians ability. In Escape from Butcher Bay, he uses it in a devastating combo, sending multiple guards flying. In the Chronicles of Riddick director's cut, he deploys it against a squad of necromonger soldiers, delivering a shockwave that knocks them back and causes significant damage. The Furian Energy Wave is a powerful ability Riddick taps into during intense moments of stress or aggression. He can channel this energy to unleash powerful shockwaves, but it does take a toll on him over time. This could add a fresh dynamic to Riddick Furya, especially if the film explores his connection to his home planet Furya and his past. Seeing how Riddick's abilities evolve or are challenged could provide an exciting new dimension to the story. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. If you have any thoughts on this video, feel free to drop them in the comments too. Also, let us know what new powers or elements you're hoping to see in Riddick Furya. We'd love to hear your thoughts.